Students, this is lesson U1A00d. In this video, I will be going over how to write, or exercises on how to write the equation of a line. I actually started this exercise in a previous video, and I am going to wrap up this exercise on this video. So let's take a look. So we did examples on this page in the last video, and we did examples on this page in the previous video. And we're up to here. Now the goal for this question, for these questions here, okay, is to rewrite the equations that's presented right now in slope-intercept form. Right now, these equations are written in standard form. So to write an equation in slope-intercept form, we got to be able to isolate y. Okay, we're isolating the y variable. So how will this look? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to subtract x from both sides, so we end up with negative 3y is equal to negative x minus 3. And then we're going to divide by negative 3 from both sides, so we end up with y is equal to negative, or actually, well, I'll write it out, negative x minus 3 over negative 3. And this simplifies to 1/3 x plus 1. That's because the negative 3 has to divide into both terms here. Okay. All right. So again, y is equal to 1/3 x plus 1. Let's take a look at the next one. Again, we're isolating y, so therefore this will turn into 6y is equal to negative 6 minus 7x. And then we're going to be dividing by 6. So y is equal to negative 6 minus 7x divided by 6. Or simply y is equal to negative 7/6x plus 1. Again, we are dividing 6 into both terms. All right, next, you're given an equation in point-slope form, and we are going to rewrite this in slope-intercept. So we're going to isolate y. So we're going to distribute the negative into x plus 1. So I have y minus 3 is equal to negative x minus 1. Add 3 to both sides. We end up with negative x plus 2. Similarly, we are going to distribute the 3/2 through. So I have y plus 1 is equal to 3/2 x. Plus 3/2 times 2. So I'm just going to write the little scratch work here. 3/2 times 2. What is that? Well, 3/2 times 2, 3/2 times 2 is the same thing as 3/2 times 2 over 1. And when we're multiplying fractions, okay, we're multiplying across. So we got 6 over 2, or is really 3. Or alternatively, you can also think of it as this, right? 2 over 2 is 1. So this is going to be 3. Subtract 1 from both sides, we end up with y is equal to 3/2 x plus 2. All right, next. Our goal is to write the slope-intercept form of the equation of a line through the point with the given slope. So let's take a look at this one here. I have a slope. I have a slope of -1 and a y-intercept and a point of 0, -4. So let's take a look. I know that y is equal to mx plus b. So by substituting in the things I know that m is equal to -1. And actually, this is the y-intercept, because I know this because immediately the x-coordinate is 0 at the y-intercept, right? However, if you did not know that, you can also do this. You can say -4 is equal to -1 times 0 plus b, and solve for b this way. So b, as it turns out, is indeed -4. So y, therefore, is equal to negative x plus minus 4, or plus -4. Whichever way you want to put it, it's the same thing. Okay. So I want to write the equation of a line where the slope is 0 and passing through -2, -5. So a line with a slope that's 0, that is a horizontal line. A horizontal line, okay, will have uniformly the same y coordinates all throughout. So therefore, the equation of this horizontal line is y is equal to -5. Let's take a look at the next one. I want to write the equation of a line with slope of 2/5 passing through 5, 1. So what I'll have then is I have y. So actually, what I'm going to do, and this you may find this a little strange, but you know how in this problem over here we looked at writing the equation of a line in slope-intercept form by first applying the equation of a line in slope-intercept form, right? So actually, I'm going to go a little backwards here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to apply point-slope form of a line, which looks like this. And you're going to see how this helps organize things a little better, okay? So what I'm going to do, these points right here, this is x1 and this is y1, I'm going to substitute directly in. So what I'll have is y minus 1 is equal to 2/5 times x minus 5. And I'm doing everything in one step. I can solve for the y-intercept, as you can see. So therefore, y, once you distribute the 2/5 and add 1 to both sides, you'll end up with 2/5 x minus 2 plus 1 is -1. And just to demonstrate that again, why this is maybe perhaps an easier, quote-unquote, easier way of approaching this. Okay, I have y minus 2 is equal to -1/4, x minus -4. And again, when we distribute this through, you'll end up with y is equal to, so the -1/4, the minus negative becomes a plus, so I'll have -1, add 2, I'll have +1. So it's -1/4 x plus 1. This is the equation of a line with a slope of -1/4 passing through -4, 2. Let's take a look at the next one here, where it says, write the point-slope form of the equation of a line through the given point with the given slope. So notice now it's asking for us to write the equation of a line in point-slope form. You're going to see again, this is actually infinitely easier, right? So this is simply y minus -1 is equal to 3/2 x minus -4. And actually, you can leave your answer like that. For this reason, this is why I actually prefer writing the equation of a line in point-slope form over slope-intercept form. Next one here, this is y minus 4 is equal to -x plus or minus 0. You can leave your answer like that. All right, next batch. We're going to write the equation of a line passing through, write the slope-intercept form of the equation of a line through the given 2 points. So let's take a look at these two here. So I'm going to write the equation of a line passing through -3, 2 and -2, 5. So first off, we need a slope. Okay, so to find a slope, I'm going to do x1, y1, x2, y2, and we're just going to apply the slope formula as we saw it in the lesson. So the slope formula says 5 minus 2 over -2 minus -3. And if we perform the computation here, this is simply 3 over 1, or just 3. And just like from the previous example, just write this in slope-intercept point-slope form. We have y minus 2. Again, I'm choosing this as x1 and y1. Y minus 2 is equal to 3 times x minus -3. Let's simplify this a little more. We end up with y is equal to 3x. So that's 9 plus 2, that's plus 11. Let's do this one more time, just to show you how simple this really is. Okay, and again, I want to do change in y over change in x. So x1, y1, x2, y2, -3 minus 3 over -1 minus 3. this is going to be negative 6 over negative 4, or it's 3 over 2, positive 3 over 2. And this is y minus 3 is equal to 3 over 2 times x minus 3. Okay? So, we're going to distribute. So therefore, this leads to y minus 3 is equal to 3 halves x minus 9 halves, right? Actually, it's not 9 halves. It is 9 halves. What am I doing? Minus 9 halves, and then we're going to add 3 to both sides. And when we add 3 to both sides, we end up with 3 halves x minus 9 halves plus 6 over 2, right? Because when we add 3, it's the same thing as adding 6 over 2, and we need to create common denominators. So therefore, this is going to be y is equal to 3 halves x minus 3 halves. This is the equation of a line in slope-intercept form. Which brings us to the very last two questions here, and you're going to see why when a question asks you to leave the equation of a line in point-slope form, this is many, many times easier. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to write the equation of this line. Let's do number 38 because I have more room there. We're going to find the equation. Actually, let's not do 38. Let's do 36 first. So 36 here, I see here that this is that x1, y1, x2, y2. We're going to find out what the slope is. M is equal to negative 4 minus negative 1 over 0 minus negative 1. So this is actually going to equal to negative 5. The slope is equal to negative 5. And all I got to do, this is simply y minus negative 1 is equal to negative 5 times x minus negative 1. And you can actually leave your answer like that. This is a perfectly fine answer to leave. Okay, let's take a look at maybe another example. Let's do this guy right here. I have, again, the slope, x1, y1. That's what we got to find out first. The slope value. So I have x1, y1, and then I have x2, y2. Whoops. And we're going to find out what the slope value is. The slope is equal to negative 3 minus 4 over negative 5 minus 5. And this is negative 7 over negative 10, or it's positive 7/10. And look at how simple this problem is. It's just y minus 4 is equal to 7/10 times x minus 5. We can leave our answer in this form. It is many, many times easier. All right, last question, promise. So if you look at these 2 points here, without doing much math at all, what's the equation of this line? Observe closely here. If you look at this, we have the same y coordinates. If we have the same y coordinates, that means this is going to be a horizontal line. And if it's a horizontal line, writing the equation of the line is going to be y equal to negative 5, because all throughout this horizontal line, we're going to have the same y coordinates all throughout. And there you go.